Hello, it's that time of the update cycle again. The devs are releasing teaser screenshots and small bits of information to tease us about what's coming in version 0.19. Based on some feedback from my videos about 0.18, I'm splitting this into two videos, one with just the news that's known for sure, the other with my own speculation. This is the news one. So let's jump right into it. The biggest news is this chart of resources that was released. So let's zoom in on the resource flow chart. First of all, you have to notice this thing that says everything uses electricity unless otherwise noted. And also you have this little box that tells you how to tell what's a processing module, a source, a resource sink, and a container. So we have the ocean, subsurface, atmosphere, and sunlight. Sunlight goes to solar arrays and makes power. It's as simple as that. For oceans, we have the hydroscoop. For the subsurface, we have the pump drill and the rock drill. In the atmosphere, we have the jet intake and the aeroscoop. Now, when we scroll down, it gets a little messy. But basically, a hydroscoop in Eve's oceans makes plutonium and propellium. In other places, it produces water. The pump drill can produce propellium, water, hexagen, and zeonium. The rock drill can produce oxium, plutonium, nitronite, and dirt. A jet intake will produce intake air, as usual. An aeroscoop will produce hexagen and zeonium in the right atmosphere. You can put propellium and oxium in a fuel compressor to get liquid fuel and oxidizer. Or you can put oxium and nitronite in a gasifier to make monopropellant. If you put water in a water separator, you get oxium and propellium, allowing you to make fuel from water. If you put water in a purifier, you can get purified water, which you put into a water separator to get propellium and oxium. If you put oxium and propellium in a fuel cell, it makes electricity and purified water. If you put plutonium in a plutonium enricher, you get nuclear fuel, which is used for nuclear engines or nuclear reactors. If you put intake air in a compressor, it will give you oxidizer. Liquid fuel goes into aircraft tanks, rocket engines, nuclear engines, or atmospheric engines. Oxidizer goes into rocket tanks or rocket engines. Nuclear fuel can go into nuclear engines or nuclear reactors. Intake air from the jet intakes goes into atmospheric engines to power them. Zeonium is the new xenon gas. It powers ion engines. Nuclear engines, rocket engines, and atmospheric engines have an alternator, which allows them to produce electricity. Now there's one little thing you can do extra with that dirt. You can take it to an HMU, which is a dirt refinery, and produce tiny amounts of propellium, oxium, and nitronite from vast amounts of dirt. To find the resources, we have a new Detector Dish part, and actually there's a second Detector Dish. Nova has confirmed that one of them is a long-range scanner, the other a short-range scanner. A while back, this image was released, showing an example of a resource map, and it has now been confirmed that resources will only be in certain locations on the planets and moons, and you will have to map them out using the detector dishes. When it's time to go mining, you'll need the new rock drill and pump drill. You'll need something to store the mined resources in, which is where the two tanks in this image come in, a small resource container and a large resource container. The yellow thing is the HMU, which will produce small amounts of additional resources out of the vast amount of waste dirt you'll get from your rock drill and possibly pump drill. Now the last thing I have heard confirmed, this thing on the right, is a plutonium refinery for making nuclear fuel. Now to go back to an older piece of news, re-entry heat is being added, so no more screaming into the atmosphere at 6 kilometers per second straight down. And this rover, specifically these wheels, they are not going to be added. Nova says they don't work very well, so new wheels will be created. If you put water in a purifier, you get purified water, which can go to a water separator to make... what? I guess you get more or less depending on if you're using water or purified water.